In this video we are going to be a little bit more concrete again, and we are going to talk about some forces for change and some resistance to change. So let's begin with forces for, and we can really write down almost unlimited amount of forces on both of these sides. So I will just highlight few of them. At first there are going to be the competitive forces. So competitive, and just imagine your competition, or imagine competition in general as an economic term. It is something good for this world because we are always striving for some innovation. So innovation, and why we are doing it? Because we always have to look at our concurrency, and we must try to match or some suppress them. So match or surpress them. Suppress. And this is the whole idea behind the capitalistic market, that the concurrency and the competition is something good, and it is actually our force. It should motivate us, so we should find motivation there. The second idea, or what leads us for some innovation, is the economic, political, and global forces. So economic, these are very general terms. So economic, political, and global forces. So global. The whole idea behind this point, it is very general, and there are very many of these forces. The whole idea here is that we cannot ignore them. So we cannot ignore. For instance, the petrol prices. We have to increase or decrease our prices due to some economic situation. So this is very simple and general point. The third idea, and that is a bit more interesting, is the demographic and social forces. So I will write down just demographic. So demographic. And the idea here is the change. So the change may be in some demographic structure. So change in structure. There are no longer some stereotypes, or we have to avoid some stereotypes about promoting maybe our friends to managers, and on the other hand we have to look at really great employees who we have and try to promote them. So no longer stereotypes. And all these points that I have brought seem a little bit negative, but the whole idea is that we should see them positively. So that is something good and something that motivates us, and I will highlight this word. So here we are finding some motivation. And on the other hand, let's get to some resistance to change. Well, there are again going to be several points, and they are going to take place on several levels. The first is going to be the organizational level. So organizational level. And then we are going down, so we will be moving to some group level and individual level. So let's begin here. What is there at the organizational level, or what is the problem? Here I would highlight this word. So the problems. So problems. When there is going to be some change in the organization, it will always be on some expense of the others. So we can say it as a conflict between the power. So conflict, or we can say power and conflict. So there is always someone who benefits, and on the other hand there is always someone who is going to have some costs, or maybe his position in the company is going to be degraded. So those are going to be those guys, these who are going to incur some costs, or those who are going to be in the conflict with the change. That will be the problem, or some negative side of the change. The second level, as I said, is going to be the group level resistance to change. So group level, and here it is also the level. So we have got levels. Here is first, here is second. At the group level, just imagine a group of workers. These are going to have some norms and values. So norms and values, and that there is always some interaction, and with this change we are going to alter and change these norms and values. We want to change and alter this already existing situation, and as a result the members of a group may resist a change because a whole new set of norms may have be developed. So we want to develop some new norms. So we want to have some new norms, and that may be not comfortable. So not comfortable comfortable for some. So again, I will highlight, really imagine it as actual employees and as actual members of the organizations, that these are going to be the problems, or they are going to be in a conflict with the organizational change. And the last level is going to be the individual level. So individual level. And there are going to be 2 points. So here we have individual level, sorry for my bad writing, and that the individuals are always uncertain and unsecure about the change. So uncertain and unsecure. Because this is the whole idea behind capitalism. There always need to be some uncertainty so that we are motivating. But in this sense, if we announce, okay, we are going to do some changes, well, the employees always imagine that someone is going to lose a job, maybe, so that's why they will be uncertain, insecure, and they will be in a conflict with this change. And the second point, which is there, and that is again quite interesting, we have got a tendency to selectively perceive the information. So tendency to selectively perceive the information. And that is the true also about the company. So the managers maybe have got some great aim and are following some great targets with the change, but maybe the employees will not understand it because they have got some tendency to see just the information that touches them. So that maybe my salary is going to be lowered, but in the long run it would be increased again. But they do not see, they just select the information that they are perceiving. So these were the forces for change and the resistance to change, and I brought the three ideas on both sides. We are going to have some competitive forces, economic, political, and global ones, and then demographics. And all these should serve as some motivation for our company to change. And on the other hand, there are some problems, or some, as I have highlighted, the conflicts to change. So hopefully see you in next video.